James Wade, known to fans as The Machine, has carved out an undeniable legacy in the world of darts. A four-time World Darts Champion semi-finalist and decorated champion with wins at the World Matchplay, World Grand Prix and UK Open, Wade's journey wasn't always lined up for the bright lights of the PDC. What if I told you that Wade started out as a simple mechanic who eventually reached the top of the darts world? But not everything was all sunshine and rainbows, and things quickly turned very sour. Sit back and enjoy the rise and fall of James Wade. Wade may not be the sport's flashiest personality, and he's openly admitted he's not about theatrics or jumping around for the cameras. And sure, he's had his ups and downs with controversies here and there, but he's built his career on pure skill, stacking up more trophies and titles than most could ever hope to reach. He knows he's not as marketable as some of the others. He doesn't bring a dance routine or a catchphrase, but for Wade, it's always been about the darts. Just take Wayne Mardle, beloved by fans and famous for his Hawaii 5-0 routine, yet he never clinched a world title. Mardle may have mastered the show, but Wade mastered the game. With nearly 2 decades on the circuit and 11 televised majors to his name, Wade's accomplishments have left a mark. He might not be the flavour of the month, or even the most fashionable face in sport, but he's honest with himself, a trait he hopes fans and colleagues appreciate. Yeah, he has his share of missteps, and he's not always been in the spotlight as much as some, but he's achieved more than plenty who get more hype simply for their appeal. Wade has been an impact player, and while the darts world may sometimes overlook his achievements, he knows he's earned his place. But let's take a closer look at how Wade first began and his rise to success. Wade's first serious dive into the world of darts happened at just 14, when he won the Basingstoke Open, his first taste of competitive success. Not long after, he was representing England on the youth circuit, proving that his skill was way beyond his years. At only 18, Wade reached the final of the British Classic in 2001, narrowly missing the title to John Walton. But this early setback didn't slow him down. By the next year, he'd picked up the Swiss Open title, showing everyone that he was here to compete. His television debut came in 2003 at the BDO World Championship, and although he missed a tough series of darts to close out the match to Dennis Harbour, Wade was still making his presence known in the BDO circuit, reaching major rounds across Europe. In the following 2004 season, Wade made headlines by shutting out Sean Greatbatch 3-0 in the first round of the BDO World Championship. Unfortunately, his run was cut short by Daryl Fitton, but that year would still mark a turning point. Wade had impressive runs to the quarterfinals of several key tournaments, including the German Open and the International Darts League. Yet, the biggest shift came later that year when Wade decided to make a bold move and join the Professional Darts Corporation. This choice meant forfeiting his place in BDO's biggest tournaments, but for Wade, it was time to take his game to the next level. Wade's journey to full-time darts was sparked in early 2006 when he pulled off 2 9-dart finishes, showing the world what he truly was capable of. Yet it was his disappointment in the Las Vegas Desert Classic qualifiers that finally pushed him to leave his job as a mechanic and go pro. This decision paid off almost instantly. At the 2006 World Matchplay, Wade took everyone by surprise, storming through his first Winter Gardens appearance and reaching the final. His path was nothing short remarkable. He whitewashed Dennis Ovens 10-1 in the first round, nearly closing it 10-0, and caused a stir by finishing a leg with 2 double 20s against Kevin Painter in the second. Wade then bulldozed Chris Mason 16-4 in the quarters and pulled off a thrilling comeback against Roland Sholton, turning a 1-5 deficit into a 19-17 victory in extra legs. In the final, he took a solid 8-5 lead over Phil Taylor, but Taylor clawed his way back to win 18-11. Still, Wade's runner-up finish marked him a serious competitor. He continued to impress throughout 2006, reaching several semi-finals and winning the Vauxhall men's singles, hitting his 3rd 9-darter of the year along the way. In 2007, Wade tasted victory at the PDC World Championship, defeating Warren French and Dave Ladley to reach the last 16, where he narrowly lost 4-3 to Terry Jenkins. His stellar year earned him the PDC's Young Player of the Year award and vaulted his ranking to number 11. That July, Wade returned to Blackpool for the World Matchplay and made history by claiming his first major televised title at just 24, the youngest player to do so. He pocketed £50,000 and took down a formidable lineup, Wayne Jones, Dennis Priestley, Mervyn King, Adrian Lewis and Jenkins in the final. His semi-final victory over Lewis, where he averaged 101 and nailed 70% of his doubles, remains a legendary Winter Garden performance. The final saw him overpower Jenkins 18-7, elevating him to world number 3. He weren't done yet. Wade won his second major in October, the World Grand Prix, dispatching Raymond van Barneveld 5-1 in the semis and defeating Jenkins again in the final 6-3. For his achievements, Wade was named both PDC Player of the Year and PDPA Players Player of the Year. Wade kicked off 2008 with a strong run to the World Championship quarterfinals, barely edged out 5-4 by John Parr, the eventual champion. His Premier League debut was just as thrilling. Wade handed Phil Taylor his first ever Premier League loss with an 8-6 win on opening night. However, Taylor got his revenge in the finals with a 16-8 victory after Wade had defeated Van Barneveld in the semis. Wade bounced back by taking the UK Opens in emphatic style, beating American Gary Marson 11-7. He followed this up with a finals appearance at the Las Vegas Desert Classic, though Taylor claimed the title again. Wade then reached his third consecutive World Matchplay final, losing to Taylor 18-9, which marked his third major final loss to the Power in 2008. His World Grand Prix title defence fell short, with a first-round loss to Tony Eccles. But Wade stayed competitive, winning 2 Players' Championship titles in the fall. He also hit his first televised 9-darter during the Grand Slam, despite a second-round loss to Gary Anderson. In the 2009 World Championship, Wade improved yet again, reaching the semi-finals before a hard-fought 6-4 loss to Raymond van Barneveld. The real highlight of 2009 came in the Premier League darts, where he defeated Mervyn King 13-8 at Wembley Arena to claim the title. Although his UK Open title defence ended in a narrowing 9-8 third-round loss to Peter Manley, Wade continued to impress, reaching the quarter-finals of the World Matchplay before bowling out to Ronnie Baxter. Wade's 2010 season kicked off with another tough quarter-final loss, this time to an unstoppable Simon Whitlock at the World Championship. In the Premier League, Wade reached the finals again, where he faced Taylor in an unforgettable showdown. Taylor hit 2 9-darters and claimed the title 10-8. Despite this, Wade bounced back in spectacular fashion, winning the World Grand Prix by beating Adrian Lewis 6-3 in the final. Just 4 days later, he claimed another major by defeating Taylor 6-5 in the Champions League darts final. Wade's incredible run in 2010 saw him reach yet another major final, this time at the Grand Slam. After tense wins over Mervyn King and Terry Jenkins, Wade led BDO star Scott Waits 8-0 in the final. But in a shocking twist, Waits came back to win 16-12. Although this loss was bitter, Wade's status as a top-tier player was beyond doubt. His mix of grit, skill and sheer determination had made him one of the most formidable competitors on the PDC circuit, setting up what would become a storied career filled with rivalries, comebacks and unforgettable moments. After years of climbing to the top of professional darts, James Wade's career took a challenging turn as he struggled to maintain his pace among the elite. By the early 2010s, his form began to waver, marked by inconsistent performances and early exits in major tournaments. One of Wade's biggest setbacks came at the 2011 World Championship, where he was knocked out in the third round by Terry Jenkins in a nail-biting 4-3 match. Following that, he had several ups and downs in the Premier League and World Grand Prix, but failed to recapture the level of success he'd once enjoyed. Adding to his on-stage struggles, Wade faced personal battles off the hockey that affected his focus. Mental health issues, which he openly discussed, began to impact his performance, and he stepped away briefly to focus on his well-being. He was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, which Wade bravely chose to share with fans. And while it brought him respect, it also made returning to his top form that much harder. Financial pressures and a crowded field of newer, hungry competitors like Michael van Gerwen and Peter Wright only intensified the challenges Wade faced. Once a regular in the finals, and often seen as the man to beat, he now found himself battling just to stay in the top ranks. Despite occasional flashes of his former brilliance, Wade struggled to secure major wins, and his ranking slipped. James Wade faced yet another turbulent chapter in his career during the 2023 World Championship, suffering a shocking early exit when he lost 3-2 to Jim Williams in the second round. This defeat marked a significant low point as Wade dropped out of the top 10 in the world rankings for the first time since 2007, an unsettling milestone that reflected his struggle to maintain consistent form. Early eliminations continued to haunt him at the World Matchplay and World Grand Prix, creating doubts about his competitive edge. 2024 began on a frustrating note as Wade again faced early elimination at the World Championship, this time falling 3-2 to Matt Campbell in the second round. His struggle continued when he was defeated 10-7 by World Championship finalist Luke Littler in the fourth round of the UK Open. Despite these setbacks, Wade demonstrated resilience at the 2024 World Matchplay. After barely qualifying, he delivered a sensational performance, defeating Danny Noppert 10-5 in the first round and Nathan Aspinall 11-8 in the second. In the quarterfinals, he triumphed over Ross Smith 16-10, but ultimately succumbed to the eventual champion and world number 1 Luke Humphries in the semi-finals with a score of 10-17. Share your thoughts in the comments down below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.